Good morning. Thank you everybody for being here live and in person. It's good to have a group of people in front of us again in order to get your case to where it needs to be. And over the course of the day today, you're going to learn a lot of the things that need to be done. And if you start to look at it too globally, it can feel overwhelming and intimidating and discouraging. And so what I try to remind myself is that you can always outwork your competition. You can always out-prepare your competition, no matter how experienced they are, no matter if you think they're better at doing these kind of cases, they're better at the law, all that sort of stuff. And so that's a guiding principle that I've found to help comfort me. And then create a list of what you need to do and just do one thing at a time. Start knocking things off your list. And so hopefully today you can start creating a list, if you haven't already, of things you need to do in all of your trucking cases. So.
Thank y'all so much for being here. It's great to have a live audience once again. I've been doing these webinars from my desk, and just staring at myself in a Zoom screen has gotten quite old. So this is a breath of fresh air. So we're going to be talking about combating common defenses in different scenarios. And pretty much most of your tractor trailer cases are going to have some type of liability defense that the other side's going to put up. Brian talked about that your opposition in a trucking case can be intimidating. And the reason why is they have a lot of resources and experience. And they're paid good money to create doubt in juries about their liability in certain cases. And so my talk is not about your client stopped in traffic or at a red light and gets rear-ended and everything is clear as day and they admit everything. That's an easy one, okay? That's a slam dunk. We're going to be talking about those times when it's just some little bit of an argument.
I mean, what I'm here to share with you today really are my thoughts on preparing for and taking depositions in these cases, and I think this is where the cases are won or lost. They really, and they're typically won or lost in the first couple of depositions in the case. And so if you believe that, if you accept that as my premise, what it means is you've got to do all of the advance work that's needed before that first deposition. You have to front load these cases in a big giant way. So what's your plan going to be, right? And so got to be done first. So what's going into this? Everything that you've already heard about is going into it. All the spoliation letter stuff, all the intake stuff, all this investigative work that you're doing. I think Brian Mose talked about the safer sys this morning a little bit and some of those kind of things. All of that's going in, whatever pre-suit discovery. I mean, one of the best things about being a plaintiff's lawyer today is that we have a very connected community, right? I mean, if you go to our website, we have a portal that has all kinds of stuff in it that people can go and look at, and we update it all the time. But we're just...
One of the bigger things I see people make a mistake at is they haven't properly evaluated their case. And they either think it's worth way too much, and they did this in order to try to get the client to sign, and now you got to do a bunch of client management things, or they think it's worth way too little, or they just really don't have any idea what it's worth. So I will tell you, there's some fundamental rules when it comes to trucking cases. They get better the more you litigate them.
Y'all about these Amazon delivery cases. And so we've handled a number of those cases. One I handled with Joe Camerlingo in Florida, and you'll get to see a clip from that driver's deposition. But they're interesting cases. And so the idea is kind of understanding how Amazon is set up, how it works. And that's what we've learned through going through these cases, is all the different types of paperwork, paper trails that are there. We'll go over that, as well as just kind of how the structure works.
Discovery is really where the magic happens in the case. When you're in litigation, going through discovery, that's where you're getting ready for trial. So let's talk about, number one, what are the goals that we have for discovery? What do we want to accomplish? We want to show the driver violated company policies, procedures, obviously if they violated rules of the road, traffic,